Hello and welcome to another episode of the Dumb and Dumbest Podcast with your beautiful, radiant, glorious, complete mug of a co-host, Curtis Dewar.
Hello.
And me, Matt Bacon. This is a music industry podcast where everything is terrible, the house is on fire, and I have a wonderful tatuaje in my mouth as I'm saying this. It's great. So, tatuaje is a type of cigar for all you with dirty minds out there.
Okay.
Today we are talking about...
We're talking about timing of things, timing of releases, timing of singles, timing just to do things in the music industry.
Absolutely.
In general.
And this is a really tricky one.
It's fucking tricky as hell. Now, just to start off, one reason why I'm bringing up timing is because everybody and their dog seems to always want to release in October and November. And I can understand because everybody wants to get on year-end lists. Everybody wants to make the Christmas rush and everything, and I get it. But from a PR and marketing perspective, it can be really rough if you're a new band and you're trying to make a dent at this time of year. Like, really rough. And I'm not saying that as an excuse or as a reason for you not to promote yourself, but when you're putting a release out, if you're a new band, especially if you're a new band, for example, and you're self-releasing, it's a fucking uphill battle. Can it be done? Yeah, but you're not going to be getting anywhere near the amount of marketing or promotional steam that you would have doing it at a different point of year. Just nowhere close.
Yeah. And it's also, I honestly think a lot of it is like a psychological thing, because like I think a lot of people, myself included, you know, like you set yourself with like, oh, this is going to be my goal for the end of the year is I want to put out a record.
I understand.
You know what I mean? And I absolutely think that's a factor, and I totally am empathetic to that, right? Like,
me too. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been working on this for 2 years, and this was the year you wanted to put it out. But like at the end of the day, patience pays off.
It does. Like, I mean, I've had a couple bands like that released in October and that week of September where there was something like 200 releases that should have done had 10 times the amount of press that they did. But the problem is that there was just too many other things out there.
Yeah.
You know, and they're new and nobody's paying as much attention to them as they are to the new Hatebreed or Amarante or whatever the hell else was out that week. You know what I mean? So it's like, we ran into this problem. I ran into this problem a couple of years ago with Heavy Temple, who are already pretty established and fairly well known. And we kept running into Metallica, was releasing every time we did something. It was like fucking insane. But we still managed to persist, but we were having problems. And that's Heavy Temple, who were already pretty well known. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, exactly. Yeah, and it's not a given, and it's really, again, it's really just a question of understanding where you are in the market and where you are sort of
like where you are in the ecosystem. Because if you're releasing the same
exactly
that Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer are all releasing, game over. You're not getting much. You might get a review, if that. You know what I mean? Ozzy Osbourne announces his final tour the week he released. Nobody knew that was going to happen, but game over pretty much at that time period. You know what I mean? So it happens sometimes.
Yeah, well, because I think it's important to remember who these people are, what they are doing, and why they do it, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, a lot of these people are just hobbyists.
Yeah. Bloggers, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who only have a few hours a day to dedicate to it, if that. Mm-hmm. And who are trying to make money whenever they can. And reviews don't get a ton of traction.
Well, and here's the other thing too, is that if you're a writer, or even an editor, and you get the choice between reviewing the new Hatebreed, or you get a choice to review a self-released album by a brand new band, which is way better, you're still going to pick Hatebreed because it's going to get more clicks, which gets you more traffic, which gets you more revenue, which gets you more views, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's just
Also, just like, regardless, it just feels cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would rather, as a writer, Jamie Josta send me a nice message, which he would do if I wrote about his thing.
Yeah.
You know, then get fucking a similar nice message from some
From new
some
band.
other person in a tiny band that I'm not going to care about in a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's just like,
The way it
yeah,
is.
I as a fan of metal am obviously more interested in Jamie Jasta saying something nice to me than I am in fucking Hugo and the Argonauts.
But also at the same time, like for example, tell me if I'm wrong on this, but if you were to pitch Rob at Metal Injection a piece on Hatebreed over a band that nobody's heard of yet on their first album, who's he going to pick for you to review? Hatebreed, right? Am I
Absolutely.
mistaken? Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely.
It's just the way it is, and the reason why is because they're more known. There's more traffic coming, and all the rest of that. So that being said, we're not trying to discourage anybody. And apologies if it comes off as discouragement because it's not intended to. What we're trying to say is if you know that there's a whole bunch of releases coming out, try to plan it at a different point of year or at a different date, just so that way you don't run into these problems. Because otherwise what ends up happening a lot of times is some great releases will get some very, very minor press that they could have gotten way more attention at a different point of the year. And it's just a fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And now, okay, so, and here's the other thing too, I think, like with the idea of getting on end of year lists is like, you need to be realistic about the type of end of year list you're going to get on if you get on any, right?
Well, a new band's probably not going to get on one if they're self-released. That's just a fact.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say is that you're not going to get on one. But furthermore, it's sort of the question of like, you as, like, you have to appreciate that end of year lists are usually among people's most read posts of the year, because people want to know, like, people, it's the end of the year, people have time to listen to music, they want to know what's sick, right? So you've got what's usually your most read post of the year, and also those people are all trying, like, I'll fully admit to this, like, when I do an end of the year list, I want people to see how cool I am and how my taste is so fucking different and unique and special, right? Like, and I guarantee you that's fucking most people. Some people come out and admit, like, yeah, like there was like some big releases I liked, but like I really want to like show the more obscure side, and it's not because they want to show the more obscure side. It's because they want you to think that they're the fucking ultimate Gorn Lord and that you're fucking small potatoes. You know what I mean? Which is fine. Like, I don't have a problem with it. Like I said, I do that too. But just like fucking realize what this is about. And it's not about, you know, it's not about being the ultimate, metal guy who fucking supports the underground. It's about like trying to show your friends, like, look, I know cool shit too. You know what I mean?
Matt's a
Like,
poser.
no, I'm just being
Kidding.
straight
I'm
up. Like,
kidding. I know.
why do people write about music? Okay,
They want
when
to get
you're only getting 500 views on most things,
yeah.
like, I don't fucking know.
You do it to look cool, and you do it because you want to be known as a leader in a thought leader in that space.
Exactly. Like, I legitimately like reviewing unknown bands, but like, there's a reason I do that, but there's also a reason I write year-end lists. Those reasons are different, and I think those reasons are different for most people.
And just also to point out, any site that takes ads also need to have high volume of traffic in order to get people to buy ads with them. So they're always going to be taking the bands that are on a label that have sold a shit ton of copies before they take anyone else for reviews. It's just a fact.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Pitchfork will take a bigger band over a smaller band any day of the week.
Yes. Why do you think Metal Sucks does the fucking what does Corey Taylor think bit?
Yeah, and this tiny violin doing a Slayer cover fucking bits because people click on it. That's the only reason why.
Yeah. Anyway, so now, okay, so something we haven't really addressed yet, and I want to kind of get to in sort of a bonus round, is releasing on holidays.
Yes.
Huge common mistake. Talk to me about this, Curtis.
Okay, so we had just talked about Christmas Day as being a release. For some people, will try to release on Christmas Day. Now, here's the thing. Like, you'd think it would be smart because you'd think more people would be on the internet that day and be checking out new music. You'd think so. And, you know, I originally, when I first got into PR, I kind of figured that would be the same thing. And I thought it would probably be an amazing idea for people to release on Christmas Day or Thanksgiving. But you know what always ends up happening in my experience? Any fucking band that I've ever seen do this, at least with me, it has fucking failed miserably. Just completely failed. And part of the reason I think why, especially for Christmas, is because most blogs shut down from like the second or third week of December and fourth week of December, and sometimes even to the first week through the first week of January. So you got nobody writing about it, so nobody even knows to even check out your track. You know what I mean? Unless, I mean, I guess the only way I could see it really working is if you took out a ton of Facebook ads and you just targeted the shit out of people, could possibly work. But I mean, honestly, I've never seen a Christmas Day release work, and I've worked a few rather, and each time it's fucking bombed. And the band's been like, "Oh, it fucking sucked." It's like, yeah, I told you, you know. So
Absolutely. And I think the thing is, like, even like you have to think about macro trends for stuff like this.
yeah,
You know, and I think the macro trend here is just that the macro trend is just that.
yeah.
Trying to think of the right word. Yes, clicks are down in the holidays
Yeah, which doesn't make
across
any
the board.
sense, but it shouldn't be, but it is. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, like my blog gets your views in the holidays. Metal Injection, I'm sure. I don't know for sure, but I'm sure they, you know, but like
Well,
they
they don't
only post for
post.
fucking half of the month.
Yeah, they don't post them most of the month.
You know, like this is the thing, is like if like every blog is shut down and the blogs that are still active are getting severely depressed views, maybe that means don't do that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a case of the trend being bucked, and that could always change at some point. But as of last year, Christmas releases have just they've done awful. I don't know of a single person that has told me that they've ever done well on a Christmas release that's worked a Christmas release.
Yeah. And the
I
thing
mean,
is too, like nobody wants to fucking work your Christmas release.
well, I
Like
do. Oh, I do. I would if it was effective, but if because of
no,
the fact that you can't keep,
but what I'm saying is like broadly speaking, like
yeah.
I don't want to work on Christmas.
Whoa, Gary V.
No. You know, but you know what I
Whoa,
mean. You know what I mean.
whoa,
I
whoa.
personally want to work on Christmas, but most people are not trying to do stuff on Christmas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I always work on Christmas Day myself.
Yeah,
So
I've literally put in at minimum 6 hours every Christmas since I was like 17.
I haven't
But
done
like,
6, but I do at least 2 to 3. But yeah,
yeah, but the point stands. Like, but there's a difference between like the amount of work you have to do on a release day is kind of shitty,
mm-hmm.
whereas the amount of work you have to do on like as opposed to like your general work, that isn't as bad. Which
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. It's like people like on Christmas Day, like around the holidays, sure, people will do you favors because it's the holidays, whatever. Fuck it, Christmas
yeah,
magic. But
yeah.
like, no one is trying to do you a solid on Christmas Day.
Most aren't. Yeah,
And I'm not trying to be an asshole. That's just
yeah. Unless it's Matt Bacon or Curtis Dewar, but even they might be reluctant due to the fact that they can't get a hold of anybody that day.
yeah. And they've got to fucking pry their mothers away from them because they don't understand the importance of hard work. But
In my case, children. But yeah,
anyway, point being, that's all. That's what we had to talk about. Is views are down. Don't just listen to us. Just trust us on this one.
yeah.
It'll make your life better.
Now, can I say one more thing? Do you got time for me to say one more thing? Or
Yes,
no?
before we get to plugs.
Yeah. So one other thing too is to keep in mind is like, let's say that even if you do release an album on a busy week, and let's say you don't get a ton of press or anything like that as a result, don't act like it was like a big mistake and everything's all fucked. There's still lots of other things you can still do. Like one thing I would suggest is if your press was down because you were in too much competition with too many releases, put out a lyric video a few weeks later when there's less traffic. See if you can get a bigger blog to do it. You can also start double down on social media and groups and stuff like that. Like, I mean, there's still a lot of stuff you can do to try to turn the lemons into lemonade, but try not to schedule your release when there's a shit ton of other releases, especially from heavy hitters. But at the same time, if you made that mistake, realize it, and also realize that there's still some stuff that can be done, even if not right away, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
It'll be okay. And I mean, like, worst case scenario, let's say your publicist got you one review and everything was shit, but just do the best you can, and just, you got to roll with the punches sometimes and look at it as a learning lesson for next time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're gonna, it's only rock and roll.
Yeah.
Exactly. What I always tell everyone is, like, yeah, like, this is rock and roll. This is what we do. We're not we're talking about black metal. Anyway.
Yeah.
What do you have to plug?
Well, today there is a stream from Cortez that went live over at Moshville Times.
Live.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that stream you and I are doing is today or tomorrow, but Crawling for Carrion will be up at Metal Injection at some point. It's got a couple cool cover songs, sludge metal covers of Portishead and Townes Van Zandt. I can't remember the name of the Townes Van Zandt track off the top of my head.
Rake.
Yeah, that's right. And then the Roads by Portishead features the singer from, what's the name of that band? Bowden. And anyways, really, really cool stuff. Matt's premiering it either today or tomorrow. We're not sure which, but it's going to happen, and it's awesome. Go check it out.
Yeah, it really is. It's almost pallbearer-esque.
Yeah, but with these commercial songs that you wouldn't expect to be pallbearer-esque. That's funny.
Yeah, like the execution, it's really honestly like I didn't listen to it before yesterday. And it's really honestly like something like I don't check out bands a lot. And this is like something where I'm like, oh fuck, this is worth, sinking my teeth to.
Matt's like being like nice right now. I'm
surprised. No. I mean, you know that I'm a fucking Gorn lord for that kind of music.
I know you are.
Anyway, good. Yeah. So we have that. What do I have to plug? Or do you have anything else to plug, or is that it?
Oh, yeah, I do actually have one other thing to plug. I do have another special going on this month. It's not the same as last month. Last month I did a 15% off a 3-month package. This month, though, I'm actually doing 20% off of, sorry, not 20% off, 15% off 2-month packages this month. So if you're interested in getting that done, hit me up. I'm not doing 3-month packages this month, just 2-month, not 1 month, just 2 months. So that's going to last until November. What's the last day of the month? 30th or 31st? 30th. So Black Friday. That's my Black Friday special, I guess. Boom.
Okay, perfect. Good.
Oh, and one other thing. I'm also starting a Twitter coaching / course program that's going to be starting.
That.
Yeah, it's going to be starting, I think, so far I've got 2 people interested in starting it in January, so I might just wait till January to release it. But if you're interested in learning more about Twitter, hit me up. I'm going to be selling it for $100, and it's not fully developed yet, but I will teach you how to kick ass at Twitter, and you will be a Twitter Ninja Master at the end of it. So anyways, hit me up. And
a Twitter Ninja Master. There you go.
Right. That's all I got.
Perfect. Yeah, Curtis and I have a webinar that we're going to do as soon as Curtis reads the manual.
Yep.
So that's what we're working on. Tomorrow, I believe I am getting a ClickFunnels account, which Curtis and I are going to start using to fucking hustle and grind a bunch of other things. Dropout Merch just added House of Broken Promises shirts, which is pretty cool because, House of Broken Promises is a big deal.
They don't break their promises, though.
They don't break their promises, though. So you will be getting some really cool, unique products generating a lot of value for you, the consumer.
Yeah.
So yeah. Otherwise, that Coven box set's coming out eventually.
Woo!
Signed Coven, bitch.
Matt had Jinx in his bedroom. Not his bedroom. His apartment last week.
A couple weeks ago, but yeah.
Sorry. Not
which
in his
was,
bedroom.
you know, point being, that's a really cool thing. So Prophecy Fest went really well for all of you who were asking. And yeah, that's where we're at. So thank you for listening.
I want a coffee, so are we done yet?
Jesus Christ.
Hear that coffee pot going?
One sec, we're not done.